All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Hey, I'm so sorry I haven't made videos the last few days. You know I missed you so much. I am very glad to be making one today, actually a little unexpected. So I'm going to quickly cover Game and AMC, and then I really want to talk about CLOV. So I did not see CLOV, I will be honest, but YouTube comments, YouTube viewers, man, I'm so grateful for you all, right? And CLOV looks interesting. It's basically a resistance away from a beautiful, let me just flash it real quick. We'll get there shortly, right? But CLOV, look at this thing, right? I care way less about this 21%. I actually care way less about that post-market push as well. I really care about that 136 line, and let me just zoom out quickly, and we'll talk about it. But red can make a real interesting green. So real excited for this one. Game and AMC, honestly, not so much, and I'll get to the details shortly. But these don't look as fantastic as they did not that long ago, right? So a little bit of a mixed bag with the first two, and then some real interest on CLOV at the end. But before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for it, all right? So, GameStop, you know, I mentioned it the day before the Roaring Kitty YouTube day happened, and believe me, I didn't do as well as I should have on this one myself, but I mentioned Elon going on SNL and what that did to Dogecoin. It felt like that was a Roaring Kitty on YouTube moment for GameStop. All right, so what does that mean? If you remember, Doge back in the day was around 5 cents maybe, and all of a sudden Elon jumps in. I think Gene Simmons was another one that jumped in. All these people started to jump in, people being celebrities, right? From there, Doge ran easy from like 5 cents to 50, probably even pushed 60-ish. Then Elon was going to go on SNL, and people thought that was the moon moment. And it actually ran to almost 75 cents up to the days when Elon went. When he did his SNL day, oh, it basically tanked, and it just kept tanking from there, you know? So that seems like what has happened with GameStop and Roaring Kitty. This thing touched 60 plus twice. It obviously hit it right here, and then it did it again in that after hours moment right there. And lo and behold, we're down to the 20s now, right? And I mean, if you're looking at this chart, it really, only in Paradise has kept asking, are we going to 20 or are we going to 27? Are we going to 20 or are we going to 27? In my head, it seems like we're going to 20, but we still haven't confirmed. All right, so what am I talking about? Look, good things happen over the 8 and the 20. GameStop for the last 4 trading days has been under the 8 moving and the 20 moving average, all right? The thing is, we still have not confirmed it's lost it, all right? That's the first candle under both. Doji doesn't count. That's a green candle. Yes, clearly it didn't get over. Yes, clearly it didn't go high enough. But you can't really use a green candle as a down confirmation, right? It's like I can't use a red candle as an up confirmation, right? This is not a good candle. This is for sure. Like Friday did not end well. Friday kept us under both moving averages, and Friday actually closes under Thursday's open. So Thursday, you can see opens at 24.25. We clearly lose the entire green. Like, I don't like that. I don't like losing the entire yesterday. That's such a bad thing. Like, at least help me just hold 50%, right? But we lost it all. That's a scary back-to-back. We're still under it. But we need Monday to confirm. All right, if Monday starts to head to like that 23 flat range, it's going to be very hard for me to think anything other than 2060. Look, you can see the red line is just peeking over. It's basically at 2070, right? So I would put a little more weight at that 50 moving average than my manually drawn line. But let me just zoom out. Where is that 2060 from? And 2060 is a decent line, actually. It's the bottom of those 2 points. I mean, they're 10 cents away, right? So I mean, it's basically the same line. But I think more things are telling me we're coming down to 20 than we're going up and breaking, right? I don't like this MACD. Yes, we're positive, but green is definitely not only under red, we're diverging. We're diverging the wrong way. It kind of looks like the green wants to keep going down, down, down as the red kind of stays up here, right? RSI has been ridiculously flat. And I mean, it's just looking for the confirmation, and I think it'll run with it. You know what I mean? Like, this 50 is still low enough to where if we actually can get into like the 28 range, oh, we'll probably push. But it's also such a, like, if we confirm on Monday, we're probably going to push as well. All right. So, I'm giving give me a sec. Okay. So here's my thoughts for the day. What I'm going to do is actually raise this line. Okay. I want to raise it to here. So that's pretty good right there. I think this is our line. It's basically half of this May 13th candle. It's basically half of this, what day is this? June 20 June whatever candle. It's almost the top of this one. I think that's our 28 line. I'm going to delete this 31. So for me, I would wait for 28.60 to break. I might even, that's a little too high. I think 31's a bit much. Look, I think anywhere from 28.70, 28.60 to like 29, depending on your risk reward, right? I think that's the number to break because, I mean, if we can get into this upper channel, green, 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 red, 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 like just look at how fast, though a channel is nothing more than the distance between two lines, right? Sometimes we use moving averages as channels. Sometimes we use my manual lines. That's a beautiful 28 to 45. The problem is I'm worried we're going to do this 24 to 20. That's basically a 20% loss, right? $2 is 10%. And then if we lose this 50, we're probably coming down here to 17, all right? I think it will be very, 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 very hard to lose 17. I think there's a realistic chance that we come to, it almost feels like 17 is a little bit more realistic than 32. I'll at least say that much, you know what I mean? But if we can get over 28.60, I think the RSI is good enough to go back up. MACD will still stay positive. Volume's the story. Volume is just getting bad, but it's interesting, okay? The buying is going down, but so is the selling, right? It's not like the selling is picking up, and like doing dumpster fire, dumpster fire, dumpster fire, right? So the selling is slowing down. You can see all those reds are going down. The buying is going down. You can see those, what, 4 greens are going down. One of the two is going to have to pick up. Follow the pickup and play accordingly is what I would do. To me, this is a little bit on the 50-50 side. Clearly, I'm leaning towards falling to 20 than I am breaking up to 29, right? I don't know if there's any other like news or anything. Let me know if I'm missing anything. Let's come to the weekly really quickly. I mean, look, this weekly was trying to break all the moving averages, and so far it couldn't. That is not a good candle. This is a candle that, look in the box over there, it opens at 40 and falls all the way down to 28. That's not a good candle. That's the same not good candle. This one opens above the line, falls all the way down to there, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, those were over the line. None of those 4 are good, right? So what number is that? 2240. Where's 2240? Yeah, no, nothing. Maybe 2240 will be a bounce point, but I don't think it's worth drawing an extra line right there. Hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Let's quickly look at AMC. I might end up chaptering these two together. I'm not sure, but really quickly, in case I don't, if you can subscribe and share, oh, it does wonders with these algorithms. I would say AMC looks a lot worse than GameStop. Now, you can argue that they both look the same, but I think there's a couple things I don't like here more than I don't like over there, all right? Ooh, excuse me, little hiccup. So let's start with the candles up here. I don't like Friday, especially coming after Thursday's doji. So one thing I've always said is when you see a doji, especially as it gets a little extra picture, like picturesque, right? When you see a doji and then the next day is a bigger candle, that next day tends to tell the truth. And this seems like a tell the truth candle, all right? That said, this is actually the first one under the 8 and the 20. When I look at GameStop, right? Oops, not GME, that was horrible. GME. Game was actually under them for the last couple days. It's actually had one pretty bad candle, two pretty bad, you can even say three pretty bad candles under all three. AMC really hasn't had that. It's kind of only had this one right here, right? So maybe you can argue that I'm actually wrong by saying that this doesn't look good, but to me, that doji and the follow through, I think gives it a little bit extra in my book, okay? I think I don't like the MACD more here. So the obviously still positive. This one's only 0.15. GameStop, hey, it's at least a 1 point. Look, again, are either beautiful positive MACDs? No, right? They're both very, very much on the border of 0 and negative, right? But hey, Game is at least a little further away, and I guess I'd take that. But that's a scary divergence right there for sure. And again, RSI, same thing. It's just waiting. It's either going to pick up as we go up, or it's going to go down and pick up as we go down. And I think that's what's scaring me, because AMC only has this left. AMC, if it loses 410, if you look in the box over there, you can see 411 is the 50, 412 is the 100. If we lose 410, oh man, there is nothing. There is nothing left to stop us. And that 216 line is an old line. That's a pre-reverse split line. So I'm actually going to delete that because I don't want to confuse anyone with that. I'm also going to delete that. Again, that was a pre-split trend line right there. There is nothing below 4. Obviously, there's a line here, and I'll draw that, I guess. I don't even know which one to draw. I think I'm going to draw that. This one's a little too out in no man's land, no woman's land for my girls out there to like put something there. But I'm afraid if you lose 410, you fall straight to 3, and 3 becomes the point of we need to survive or we're going all-time lows in my head. So with GameStop, I was assuming it's going down. With AMC, I am also assuming it's going down, but I'm a little more afraid here. Now, granted, those are two strong moving averages. The 50 and the 100 by themselves are very strong. Together, they're that much stronger, right? My problem is it looks like sorry, I keep zooming in and out, and it's not the best of, like, I'm trying to, like, make it look, okay. The 50 is going up. So it looks to me like the 50 is going to actually, some might call it a golden cross, because obviously the 50 is going over the 100, and that sounds like a golden cross. That's not a golden cross in my book. What I see is the 50 going up, and it makes it more possible for AMC to lose the 50 by itself and then lose the 100 by itself and then fall below all of them, as opposed to having to battle both at the same time and making it that much harder to lose the two. All right, hopefully that made sense. If it didn't, ask some questions in the comments, but I don't see this being two moving averages with good strength. I see them separating as it comes down, and that could be a bad thing. If they stay together, obviously this should be very, very hard to lose. But again, GameStop has a line, should hold it. If it doesn't, we've got another set of lines. AMC just doesn't have that, and that's a bit scary for me, all right? Volume's horrible. Volume's actually way worse than it is on GameStop. But you can kind of say the same comments, right? Buying is going down, selling is going down. One of them is going to need to pick up soon, and I would play the follow through and go from that. So really, I'm not liking either of these right now. I think they both need to give me more reason to believe. I'm not here hoping, wishing, praying for Roaring Kitty, for the meme army, whatever you want to call it, right? Like, I work hard for my money. You work hard for your money, right? Like, I love my parents, but I got no trust funds on my side, right? So if a stock is going to take my hard-earned money, it better prove itself and make me believe it's going to make more money than just, take it, right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. I'm excited to talk about this one. CLOV. So 100%, I did not see this on Friday. That was a good double-digit Friday, obviously. I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we continued up in post-market. You know, I always say don't, post-market, after hours, pre-market. It's a little bit of a kind of just ignore it, but I like it. I do. This is a very, very interesting ticker, all right? Real quickly, please, if you can subscribe, if you can share this video. Oh, it does wonders with these algorithms. Oh, who's my kitty? Hi there. We're making videos. So what do I like? Really, I mean, let's even just start with this view right here, all right? This stock is bouncing on the 8 and the 20 like a champion, all right? So clearly this thing was not doing well with the moving averages for a good while, right? I mean, pretty much for a year. We go from August all the way to May under most of the lines. And as I zoom out, this is a stock that kind of lives under those lines for sure, right? But there are moments where it could stay above the lines for a couple months. It could stay above the lines for a couple months. And I mean, that's kind of where we're at right now. We have been let's start it from back here. We've been bouncing on the 8 like a champion as we break all the moving averages, right? And hey, we slip, but the 20 does the job, right? And I keep saying it, these two lines are your best friends or your worst enemies. And hey, so far, this is what best friends do, right? I'm seeing a golden cross on the 8 and the 20. I'm seeing a golden cross on the 50 and the 100. I'm seeing a positive MACD. I'm seeing a recovering. RSI was really high. RSI was at 82, RSI was at 82. It needed to come down, and it seems like it's kind of hungry to go back up. Beautiful, beautiful volume on Friday. It is all about this 136 line, because just look at this thing. As I zoom out, I'm going to draw the next line too. I'll probably draw it right there. There is not a lot stopping 136 to 210. That's a move and a half right there. I think maybe this will be something. I think maybe that'll be something. And I'm curious to see if that translates on the weekly. No, not that much, actually. You can kind of say, yeah, we hit that line. I'm going to lower this to those. What does that look like on the daily? Basically, the top of that. Actually, the half of that. I was hoping it'd be the top of that as well. Where's your 152? Now we're actually sitting at half of that. Oh, I like that line. I like that line. Okay, so I think this is it. Look, depending on your risk tolerance, right, you can wait for 152, and I mean red. Nothing could be an incredibly fast green. That's a nice move right there too, right? 50. You're adding one more 50-cent piece to a stock that only has 3 of them at this point right here, right? So this little 136 to 152 looks like it's a bit of a mover as well. Red, green, red, green. Whole lot of nothing. Green, red. Like, this is a fast mover as well, right? So in some ways, I don't even know if I need to draw this line, but I think it's worth having it. Why not? Yeah, there's a lot to like here. I'm curious if there's any news. Did they have earnings, or like, was there something that made this thing go up mid-April till today? I'm very, very curious, please. You can see the volume too, and it's funny because one thing I always say is you got to break that 50-day volume line to really make a good move. This stock has only broken it 4 times, and it's already doubled. So this one's letting me know, I'm wrong. You can do big things under that line, really, But can you imagine what this thing would look like if we had more days over that line? Oh my goodness, right? It's a must watch. I don't know how else to say that. This is a good ticker. There's a lot of just red, green, red. Like, this is a fast up, fast down, and I think with that, it's important to stress fast down. You need to be on your toes if you're gonna trade something like this, because I mean, we see it. It gets good MACDs, little bit on the high RSIs, and then it just quickly loses it, right? So maybe I would be a little more cautious as we get closer to 80. It does seem like, though, there should be some more room, all right? So what am I looking for on Monday? The very first thing is volume. I care less about up here and more down here, because Thursday, like this is arguably a pump and dump. You can make that argument again. We're over all the moving averages and we're going up, so it's a little harder to use that terminology. But Thursday was only 4 million shares. We basically 6x that, right? 6, 12, 18, 24. Yeah, we actually exactly 6x it, right? 6x maybe isn't the silly like 20x, 30x, 100x we see with pump and dumps, but I don't want to come back down here, right? I need a minimum of 17 million shares. I think that's our minimum. If I want 17 million shares in a 7-hour day, I'm looking for about 2.5 million shares that first hour, about 5 million shares that second hour. If we're under 5 million shares by that second hour, I'm going to start getting a little bit of worry, all right? I can see this falling back down to 115, all right? I think the 8 moving average is going to keep coming up, and it actually kind of looks like it might hit that 115 in the next day or so. So I'm not sure this will go much lower than 115. I would be very scared if we lose 108. I clearly am looking for this thing to break 136 and or 152. Yeah, I mean, look, we're basically sitting here right now after hours, all right? I think 131 is an interesting alert. Like, I'm telling you, this is a risk-reward stock right here. Pending your tolerance, you can set a couple alerts. I think 131 is an interesting one. I think 136 is an interesting one. I think 152 is the prettiest of them, all right? Last thing I want to look at, what's the hourly look like? Okay, so what am I looking at right here? The hourly's curving a little much, and then it's kind of curving a little bit here, and the volume went down pretty hard. Now, granted, I'm looking at Friday trading, right? And Friday I always call kind of a loser day. 131, I think I would wait for 131 if I was going to play this at the morning. That's my minimum. Clearly, I like breaking 136 just a little bit more. That's why I'm not drawing that new line, right? But this is an interesting one. I appreciate the comment on the YouTube vids. Let's see what this thing does. Hey, thank you for the time. Thank you.